Hi there, my name is Mark Smith and I am going to today walk you through how I fix my Devin Graham Signature Series Glidecam. Now what happened was I was away on a remote island you can only get to by helicopter, and I needed to get some low shots. And as I turned my Glidecam upside down to get them, the entire gimbal just decided to collapse, which is extremely frustrating. But what I did manage to do was just to click it back into place, and it was enough for doing just using the Glidecam the normal way. But they do advertise that you can actually turn it upside down, so I was quite disappointed that it did that. But I did pop it back up and I managed to get the shots fine, so I was reasonably pleased because it is a terrific tool. But I emailed the guys at Glidecam and they offered virtually no help whatsoever, and I'd seen online there was a lot of people that had this problem, so basically being out of warranty I had no choice but try and fix it myself. So as you can see here, there is little Allen keys at either side here, but they don't hold it, and they're not like weight bearing. I think they just slow the actual gimbal down, so if you were to tighten those up and spin it, basically it would just stop spinning because it tightens the bearings up. I think that's how it works anyway. So basically this clicked down, you can see all the bearings, and you can see a little bit of metal around about it. So I thought super glue, but obviously super glue is not that strong. So there is such a thing called thread lock. You normally use it for, if you're putting up a television into screw rod or something, you would use these just to make sure it stays in place. Now there's lots of different variations of thread lock. This one is the 270, and it actually says in the front, for parts that do not require disassembly. And obviously that sounds quite good, but it's pretty permanent. You need to heat it to like 300 degrees Celsius to make it basically to melt the thread lock. So it's you take quite a big chance putting that on. So I went basically for a lower grade, which is still, you still have to heat it to like 200 degrees to get it to melt, but I was willing to take the risk there. So what I did, obviously I pushed it down in its collapsed state, put on 4 dollops, like basically north, south, east and west, 4 dollops of this stuff. Not a great deal, because you don't want it to overflow anywhere. I was concerned that it was going to go into the ball bearings, and once that happens, it's basically goosed. So I put the thread lock on and just pushed it up and held it really tight for maybe 5-10 minutes. It doesn't need a lot of time. It's the pressure, I think, that makes it set, because normally with thread lock you put it on a screw or a nut on top of a bolt, and as you screw it on, it obviously gets tighter and tighter, and I think that's how it works. Feel free to correct me if you're wrong, internet. So basically I did that, and as I spun it around, it was quite noisy and it was clunky and it just didn't work. Well, it made it was solid, but obviously something had happened. So what I did, before, maybe after 10 minutes, it wasn't fully 100% dry, I got good old-fashioned WD-40, sprayed it in the gimbal where the ball bearings are, and I just spun it round, and it just got quieter and quieter and quieter. So what I did, I went up the stairs and took some test shots, but what was happening, there was an issue that you were walking along with it and it just kept moving. You're doing your little taps here, but it just kept moving slightly to the side. So I came back down and put some contact cleaner in it. This is amazing stuff. Contact cleaner into the ball bearings. I spun it around a lot just to try and clean it out. Again, it went silent again. Put some more WD-40 all the way around. Maybe I went a bit overboard, but I wanted it to work. Spun it around and then it became completely silent. And as I went up and tested it, it didn't move at all. And you can now, as you can see, you can now do it upside down, which is fantastic, the way it should be. Obviously, they're not heavy cameras. This is a GH4, and it normally has a Sony on it, but they're not heavy cameras, so I don't see why it should have collapsed in the first place. But that's just basically the way life is. So yeah, that's basically how I fixed the gimbal on the Devin Graham Glidecam. If you've discovered another way or a better way, please comment in the comments below, because it would be helpful to know that I took a chance by putting thread lock in. You are taking a chance, but otherwise it doesn't work at all. You need low shots, so you need to have a working Glidecam, and obviously the Glidecam themselves, the guys that make it, were pretty useless. It was out of warranty, but it's obviously a fault with the system because there's a few other people complaining about it. So hopefully that's helped you and your Glidecam. Okay, cheers.